Wibbly wobbly,
Wobbly,
wibbly
wibbly,
wobbly,
wobbly,
wibbly
wibbly, wobbly,
wobbly, timey
timey,
wimey,
wimey,
wibbly
wibbly,
wobbly,
wobbly,
wibbly
wibbly, wobbly,
wobbly, wibbly
wibbly, wobbly.
wobbly, timey wimey, wibbly
Doctor
wobbly, wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly, timey
Who!
wimey, wibbly
Doctor
wobbly, wibbly wibbly, wibbly wobbly, timey
Who!
wimey. Here
Doctor
he comes to save the day.
Who! Oh,
Yes,
so
very excited.
so today we're talking about Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, Doctor Who. This is
Uh,
a new thing for our channel.
yeah,
This is a.
the channel. Welcome to the Imperial Grandstand. I'm Alan Imperial.
I'm Carlos Del Rosario.
Uh, this is gonna be under the playlist that I'll have to create.
Yeah.
Things you should have watched. TV shows, episodes, movies that by this time, you should have seen it by now.
Yeah.
And if not, we'll get into the spoilers.
Yeah, I'll get into spoilers later. So, the way we're gonna work at it now is, we'll just try to synopsize the episode, give you a reason to watch, and if you haven't seen it,
Yeah,
then
maybe give you a quick overview of the series
yeah,
because I think this episode.
yes, yes, especially for Doctor Who. This is a wonderful entry point. But after that, we'll probably time it where we'll do a time code thing somewhere where it's like spoilers begin at this point.
Yeah,
And
and
oh crap, where did that come from?
there it is. We'll
the
figure that out.
the power of Premiere.
Hooray! So, uh, how do we begin with Doctor Who?
How does one begin?
Doctor Who is a time traveler.
Well, you can call him Doctor Who, but it's really the Doctor.
The Doctor.
The Doctor is a time traveler. He's hundreds of years old by this point. I think close to 900 in series 3
Yeah.
of the revamp of Doctor Who.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um,
This is series 3, episode 10 blank that we're going to be focusing on today.
yes, 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 and it's a seminal episode. I think I've gotten a lot of friends into Doctor Who just through this episode alone. They're like, yes, yes, Manja, Manja, give me more.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a great point to start if you don't like, even if you don't like time travel. This is actually a really good point to
Oh
start.
yeah, if you like Back to the Future, I think you'd like this
Yeah.
episode. But yeah, you don't need to know a lot about the mythology or lore of Doctor Who. There's literally 50 plus years of it, and this one is like it's from the magic of this episode is that it's from the perspective of a normal person whose life is affected by the Doctor and the monsters that he faces. So I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and it really goes into how time travel is weird.
Yeah, yeah, it's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, as they
Yes,
say.
exactly. Uh, it starts off with not our doctor here, but
Yes,
with a lady called Sally Sparrow.
Sally Sparrow. Yeah, let me bring up the video here.
Yes,
Yeah, boom. All right,
hit the marks.
and Shift M. Okay, Sally Sparrow.
Yeah, she's breaking into this place.
Yes, yes. She's breaking to a abandoned mansion
Yeah,
or estate called Wester Drumlins,
yeah,
and it's because she's got the Scooby Doo in her.
yeah,
It's like she just likes going to scary places and feeling sad.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
happiness for deep people.
oh, by the way, she's played by Carrie Mulligan, who this was what back in
2007-ish.
2007. This is before she was like nominated for an Academy Award, before she was in The Great Gatsby. So yeah, good for her. She had a fine career after this.
Nice.
And I think she's amazing this episode.
All right. So here she gets a message from somebody called the doctor.
Yeah, she basically
Oh, is this
starts
is
investigating.
yeah, she's Scooby Dooing around.
Yeah, and she just sees on the wallpaper there's a message, weeping angels, and it's like she just keeps on peeling the paint,
Beware.
and it's basically like a text message, but from the year 1969 from the Doctor.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there are these ominous statues. They're just around,
They're just hanging out.
hanging out, and they're I would say the great new villain of new Doctor Who. I mean, the Cybermen and Daleks. They've been around for decades, but this was, I'd say, one of the first great villains that the uh, the the new Doctor Who has.
Yeah.
Yes,
And just to move it along, like any good Scooby Doo
yes,
investigator, you need a gang.
yes. So,
Oh wait, I'm jumping the gun.
yes, yes. Let's, yeah, just for the newbies.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil too much, but it's a message for her from the Doctor from the year 1969, and that's really the teaser of the seven. Why does the Doctor know? How did she know? How did he know that the Doctor, that
oh,
that Sally Sparrow would be there at that time to rip off all that?
right.
And we'll get into
Now,
more details later about this scene.
something that I think we're missing because we can't play it
Yes, yes.
for the new people is the fact that it tells her to duck,
It tells her to duck,
and right when she
and
ducks, something flies over her head.
yes, yes, really, duck. And something flies in. So there's
Yeah, in my opinion, this is probably the my favorite episode or the best episode of Doctor Who. I haven't seen series 12,
yes,
so I haven't seen all the Doctor Who's, so or series
yes,
11.
yes.
But from series 9 through 11, this is actually my favorite. Uh, well,
Yeah.
not series 9. What series is this? Like
This is
series
series 3.
3. So series 1 through 10.
Yes. Yeah, it's yeah, really one of the greats, and uh
It's a good jumping off point because if you don't know anything about Doctor Who and time travel, it literally explains everything to you.
yeah, yes, yes. And it's the Doctor barely shows up in this episode. It's what we call a Doctor Light episode. And the a writer of this episode is Stephen Moffat, who's one of my favorite Doctor Who writers. Now uh he's had problems before, and eventually he became a showrunner with mixed results. But I generally like his episodes that he's written,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, let's keep it light for
yeah,
the newbies. And it's basically written by who the person who becomes the showrunner.
yeah, yeah, Moffat, and yeah. But what I love about this episode is it plays around with time because what if something in the future affects the past? And it's like, what? How do you even conceive of that? But you have time travel, and it's something that's ontological. It's like let's just say you have a record of Beethoven's, like Ninth Symphony, and you love it. You love it so much, and then you go back in time and you have Beethoven listen to the Ninth Symphony. This is great. I think I'll copy it. What? Then who wrote the Ninth Symphony? that's that's an ontological problem, and that's it's the chicken and the egg.
Yes, it's a paradox.
It's a paradox.
And they play around with it so much, especially with just this opening
Yes,
shot,
yes,
without giving too much away.
yeah. You have a mystery of the Doctor. He shows up on a DVD Easter eggs for some reason, and that's the mystery. Why is he only on, these 17 DVDs? There are
Yeah,
people, a person in this episode, Larry. He's the one investigating it.
yeah, we see him in a moment. Let's go to
Yeah.
his glorious shot.
Yes. And eventually, after a friend of Sally's is kidnapped by the Weeping Angels and sent back through time, that's Kathy, her best friend. She's sent
Yeah,
back through time. She teams up with Larry to investigate, you know,
what the heck happened?
what's going on. What
Yeah,
why are things happening? So
and then she finds out because I think we want to get into spoiler territory,
yeah,
and she
well,
finds out
wait, 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 wait.
oh,
Um, before she finds things out, let's just wrap up the synopsis for the new people. But yeah, we have these mysterious, omnipresent angels that are constantly following, just statues, and like that's an insane idea. What if statues just kept on following you, and you don't see them move?
They just show
They
up in
just
different
show
places.
up in different places. These same statues. That's insane. And it's by the end of it, it is a really scary episode. It's frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See it in the dark.
See it in the dark. Absolutely. So I think we could begin spoilers from this point on.
Yeah.
So
Spoilers. That
spoilers.
that hand thing was for me when I'm
Yeah.
editing.
Yeah.
When my hands go up like that, I could find it.
Yes. Got a little ahead of ourselves because it's like we're very excited about this episode, and it's like,
It's literally my favorite episode
yeah.
of
What
Doctor
what
Who
what like,
that I've seen.
and to actually explain the episode without spoiling it, kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that's how it goes. So we have Sally Sparrow, 1969. Yes.
It took a while. There it is.
Yes. There we go. Oh, did you know
Okay.
that the Weeping Angels, there were two actresses who played the Weeping Angels. They didn't just make statues and they covered in the makeup and they basically just have like masks on.
Oh, and they did the miming.
Yeah, they just
Oh,
mimed things. I
it's
really dig that, and like they're not the most expensive Doctor Who, villains. You don't need like a ton of CG or anything, and that's what I love. It's this is a very economical story.
they just have to pose these
Pose, yeah,
scary.
pose and scary things. Yeah.
Wow, those masks were messed up with the teeth. Lord.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're great. Oh my God, like we'll get to the last shots,
Yeah.
but like when you see like a weeping angel's face when it's angry, I was just ah! Oh my God, that was a jump scare.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's the literal definition. Yeah.
Uh,
That's teeth. Yeah. So what's the next mark? Oh yeah, the
the
doctor.
doctor. So Sally, she goes
So
to
how many times do you think that they had to plan out what the doctor would say and where to play it to all make sense?
to all make sense.
Yeah,
That's a
cause
good question. That's a good question. Yeah, and that's I think the magic of Stephen Moffat because he knows how to play. He's a very clever man, almost too clever. I think he actually tries too hard to prove that he's clever sometimes, but this is where it's like you smart. You're very smart.
yes.
No one's denying that. Yeah. So
So yeah,
this
it's
this
like
actually
listen, like
brings
your life could depend on it.
yeah, this actually brings me back because it's like, you got a mix of CRTs and miniature DVD players because Larry Nightingale is doing the investigations. Now,
Yes,
on DVDs, by the way, I don't even know if the kids know what a DVD is anymore. I mean,
they know what it is. It's like a Blu-ray, but
it's like a
less
Blu-ray but worse.
but worse,
Ugh,
but
like
lesser quality.
digital media, jeez, just physical. I don't need this anymore.
It breaks.
Yeah. Um. Yes. So this freaked you out.
It does. This yeah. Why would you have coffee at 1 in the morning?
Yeah, yeah. She drops by Kathy's place at in the morning. So they must be really close because that's
So I don't have a problem with this because if you showed up at 1 in the morning,
yeah,
or if like another one of our bros like Drew showed up at my place at 1 in the morning, yeah, both of
yeah.
you guys can get in with your ways. You both know how to get in here, so it's like yeah, no
But
big deal.
so they're this shows that they're close because she could just walk in and make coffee and like, oh, all right. But yes, what
I don't think Andrew would ever do that though.
I think it's odd that someone is making coffee at 1 in the morning, but to each their own. Maybe there are different schedules. Maybe it's just, oh, I just feel like talking, doing some talking with my best friend, and I know they're sleeping, but I'm gonna wake them up.
Yeah, that's like, man, just up all up in their kitchen. Like when I first saw this, when I was on, yeah, my God, this came out like 13 years ago. Uh, but I saw that like yeah, like 13, 12 years ago. when I first saw it, I'm like, that's weird. Now that I live by myself, it's like, it's not so weird.
Yeah. All right, next one. So, yeah, this is Kathy Nightingale. I think the actress is very pretty, actually. I was like, ooh, who's your friend? Who's your friend, Sally Sparrow? Yeah, I've seen her a few times. There's Larry,
In all
the
his
bro
glory.
yeah, he's just, and in Britain they call underwear pants. So he's just walking around with his tallywhacker. Just
I do that in my
yeah,
home,
yeah.
so
I don't know if I'd do that at my sister's place. Just walk around naked. In my own home I could understand that.
it
But
depends how far the bathroom is.
yeah,
Like if the bathroom is, within 10 feet. Eh.
yes, yes. And we talked about this that Americans like to make things sound more important than what they really are,
Yeah.
and the British are like, "That's not a restroom. Are you gonna rest? It's a toilet. It is a toilet."
Yes.
Or we call it an elevator, and
Yeah.
they call it
A lift.
it's a lift. It lifts. Yeah, just one of those things we noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's when we talk about an auto cue. I'm like, what's an auto cue? It's a teleprompter. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
transatlantic thing.
Yeah. They say it eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just gonna scroll through
Go to the next
this.
mark. Oh
Yeah.
wait, there's a lot. They talk about it,
They talk about it and
and then she gets a Scooby Doo gang.
yeah, and she's like, "We gotta uh I gotta investigate and I'm freaked out by something." And it's like, these are good friends. These are best friends because it's like you go to a friend's place and I'm recruiting you. You're on my team. We're gonna do some Scooby Doo stuff, and that's something that isn't normal. It's like, yeah.
And that's that's basically like sisters from another mother type of
Yeah,
deal.
that's good. So they both go to Wester Drumlins,
Yeah, when I
Sparrow,
first saw it,
Nightingale.
not that weird as an adult. It's like it's like, huh? How many people do I really know how to do that with? Man, how many people would I know? I'd just be upset if they showed up at my front door. So yeah, here's the. She likes being sad because it's happiness for her.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love that line.
Yeah, what's good about being
It's like
sad?
I like this place because it's sad. What's so good about it's happy? It's happy for deep people, and it's like,
All right.
all right, yeah, no, I kind of get that. It's like I like watching sad movies sometimes. I remember watching like Aronofsky films like Requiem for a Dream many times, and it's like this is a sad movie, but I really like it.
That's super intense.
Yeah, or the wrestler. Jeez.
I can't watch that movie more than
Oh my
once.
goodness.
Ex Machina. So
Ex
it's like,
Machina.
there you
Yeah.
go.
So I get it. Yeah. Um.
So Weeping Angels
Yes. Just.
just still there, but something that I love is like, hey, did that move?
Did that move?
Because you know, normally statues don't move, but this is Doctor Who.
What I'm thinking about now is the Weeping Angels here. Are they not moving because we're seeing them as an audience member? Are we forcing them to go into their defense mode?
Whoa.
I know, right? It doesn't hold up in future episodes with the Weeping Angels, but it's like it's
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, but it's like are they still because we're the ones observing them?
Yeah. So
It's
for
something to
this
think about.
episode, it holds true.
Yeah. Another thing is I thought about is why did the Weeping Angel throw a rock at her?
She was trying. It was trying to knock her out, so it could get behind her and like do its vampire thing.
Are you sure? Because she's not looking at the angel. She's looking at and they're fast. They're faster than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
I, I always thought that was a little weird. Like, and I don't totally know
Why?
if it was the Weeping Angel that threw something at her.
Why do you think the Doctor threw something?
I don't know. I really like. I assume it's the Weeping Angel that threw something at her, but why?
maybe the door was locked.
Possibly. Yeah, it's just one of those questions I got to bring up because it's just if you
Because it's
know
13 years old.
if you know audience, then please,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I'm constantly trying to find new things to talk about. Like, and if you're a Doctor Who fan, you've probably seen this episode and like you've heard it all about Blink, and like now I got to ask even more questions, things that are even less obvious.
Who threw the rock?
Who threw the rock? So let me go back. All right, there's a knock at the door. Kathy's like, I'm gonna be around here in case of incidents.
She's worried it's a robber
It's
at an
like,
abandoned
yeah,
house
this isn't your house,
while
lady.
they're knocking.
This isn't your house. All right, you just chill, man. And it turns out to be I like calling him Discount Daniel Craig because just look at him.
Yeah.
And
And
he
he basically says, "Yeah, so Kathy Nightingale uh is my grandma
grandma, and she told me to give you this letter with all this information.
with pictures
And that kind of reminds me of Back to the Future uh, 2? Yeah, it's Back to the Future 2. Because at the end of that movie, when the Doc is struck by lightning, ends up in the Old West, you have the guy from Western Union, and it's like,
Shh.
"Are you Marty McFly? I've got something for you." And you think he's gonna pull out a gun, like, "I got this." This has been sitting in our office for years.
Yeah.
We were having a bet
And
if you take
somebody's
it.
here. What the heck?
Yeah, can you please explain this?
Yeah. And so the grandson is told to be here,
Told to be
even
there.
though 24 hours ago Sally didn't know she was gonna
Yeah,
be
she
there.
didn't know. So that's great. Oh my God, that's very spooky.
Yeah.
Um,
And now the angel's looking like it's gonna touch something.
yes, I know, and I love this shot. It's just a track shot. It just moves from right to left, but it's like, oh crap! Kathy's gonna get touched by an angel.
And normally that's a good thing,
Yeah,
but
really, that's
here
a
it
good thing.
makes you disappear
Yeah,
to Hull.
to Hull. Ugh, it's a fine choice. Yeah, so
Here she is.
here, Kathy, she's been sent back through time. Yeah, and I think every angel has their time zone. So one angel sends you back to 1929. Another angel sends you back to the 60s.
1920.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, 1920,
yeah,
1969.
I don't know if it's random or if they decide where to bring people, but it.
I
Yeah,
think I don't think they have a choice just because it's like that line when we get to it with Chipton and the doctor.
yep.
So
Yeah, because that makes sense because that angel probably has their eyes set on the 60s because that's the same angel that probably touched Inspector Shipton later in the episode. So yeah, that's a good point.
yep.
Yeah,
So here we have James Bond Light just like take the letter.
take the letter.
Now, uh, at this point, it's weird because it's like I heard rumblings. Where's my friend?
Yeah,
And it's like no, you have this dude just distracting.
yeah, and here's pictures of from the 1920s of Kathy Nightingale,
Yeah, it's like
and Kathy's got you know a few kids here, and she named one of her kids Sally after Sally Sparrow. So that's
her
nice.
first daughter.
Her first daughter. Yes.
And here we just see the angels. I just love this shot.
Oh yeah. You know what? This is directed by Hetty McDonald, who is uh, the one of the first female directors of Doctor Who. There was only one other back in like the 80s or the 70s, but for New Who, she was the first female Doctor, and I think she does a superb job.
I just love this shot because you
Yeah,
just have the angel and the key in the crosshairs, and it's just it's so pleasing.
Yeah. Now, my question is, do they want Sally to take the key, or do they just happen to have the key on them? What do you think?
I think they just happen to have the key, and they're like, "Oh crap!"
Ah, she took it. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking because at first I'm like, that's just convenient.
Because they don't know where the box is.
They don't know where the box is. Yeah, part of me thinks that they think that Sally would eventually lead them to the box, which she does. But maybe it's just yeah, because right now they could just send her back through time right now if they
Yeah.
wanted to.
I think that those two are just like, let's just see where this goes.
Yeah, let's see where this
I could
goes.
track her.
Yeah,
They have to be having like a conversation that we're not hearing, and it's just like I'll make sure the key doesn't get lost, and it doesn't.
yeah. And this is talked about later in the episode, but the angels generally can't look at each other, or else they freeze each other.
No, but I'm sure they could communicate,
They could communicate, yeah,
because obviously that's a wing condition, but blah blah blah. Yeah, so
yeah.
she just grabs the
But
key because she's like, ooh, shiny.
yeah,
And it's like, would you just? That's some like Resident Evil puzzle, like thinking right there.
you know what? But at the same time, Sally Sparrow, she just likes going to scary, sad places. She's living a Resident Evil life, sir. It's like fucking. I think I'll take this key held by this angel statue. I mean, that's video game logic right there. I like this woman. You know
I'm
those red
just,
barrels over there? You shoot them.
I'm just gonna steal this key to where it goes. I shall not know. And
Yeah,
it's like, all
that's
right,
like yeah. That's
that,
that's
that's video
that's
game logic.
that's video game Silent Hill logic.
There it is.
Yeah, there we go. Good for you, Sally Sparrow. But yeah, I part of me thinks that this is intentional. But then you have this angel who's like, oh crap, you took
And
you took my key.
and and yes, it is the voice of Sally saying, "No, wait."
Hang on,
But
because
I think,
discount Daniel Craig leaves.
yeah, but I think it's also for her. But I don't know. I might be reading too much into the caption.
Yes, yes.
It's just perfectly timed.
Yeah, it's good timing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And this is spooky stuff where it's like,
they're just looking at you out the window.
yeah. And they can't zap her back through time now because she has the key on her. If they zap her,
The key goes with her.
and they lose out on the TARDIS.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's great. Cappuccino.
Everybody needs a good coffee.
So Sally is learning about.
And just crying about her friend who's like, had a good life, but I'm just wondering, how old is she?
Yeah, I'm like, I would guess like somewhere in her, mid 20s.
Yeah?
But yeah, she told the guy that
18?
she was 18. All right, fine. uh, and this is like the best camouflage.
Oh, I didn't even think about this. Oh,
I know, right?
who is an angel? What is just a statue?
Now, like, if you go to like a wake or a funeral, it's like crap, weeping angels. I gotta keep an eye out.
Uh, so just record store,
Yes,
video store. She's looking for somebody.
yes. Here's
Oh yeah,
acid burn. Yeah, so
she has to tell her. She has to tell Kathy's brother Larry about.
Larry, that she,
She doesn't know what to tell him actually.
yeah, that she, yeah, she just told Sally that she loves him. I love my brother.
Am I dying? Are you dying?
Are you dying? No.
I like how they have a shot of just the Watcher's vehicle, the owl thing.
I don't know. I think that's just a lamp, but it looks an awful lot like the owl ship from Watchmen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might be a lamp.
So this freaked me out the first time I saw it because it's like it's it's a DVD that's just playing,
And now she's talking to a
and
random
then she
DVD.
just talks to like the random DVD, and it starts and then it stops.
And the thing is, it responds in time.
I know. That's nuts. I love it. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. This episode's way smarter than it should be. What's happened? There's something is up.
And he just talks about time,
Yeah. And he talks about
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. Oh, something I should mention on the Doctor Who series 3 DVD. There's an Easter egg
For
uh,
this.
for,
Nice.
and it's the full scene with the Doctor where he's just
All right.
from what I read on like IMDb, the trivia. So that's kind of cool, right? Because like, oh my God, I'm even, you know,
You even like apparently Sally owns series 3 of Doctor Who. It's one of the 17.
The chicken and the egg.
I wonder what the other 16 are.
Yeah, so he talks about how the Doctor only shows up on 17 DVDs, random DVDs, and he just
The
why
internet
the
doesn't
internet
know.
doesn't know.
They're
We're
talking about
trying
it,
to figure that out.
and and then she has another conversation with the doctor, and now she has a list.
Yeah. I think I jumped the gun on the conversation. I think the conversation happens here in
Yeah,
this point of the episode.
it happens twice. She has like a
Yeah.
2 sentence conversation, then she has a full blown
Yeah.
conversation, and now she hears a guy yelling at the TV. Go to the cops,
Go to the
woman!
police, you stupid woman. I was like, yeah, maybe you should. And good. Thank you for filling in that plot hole, sir.
Yes.
So she goes to the police,
Yep. And just talks about Western
Western
Drumlins.
Drumlins, and that's the magic word for this constable. Where it's like, all right,
I gotta bump this up.
I gotta bump this up and talk to the detective that deals with Western Drumlins. And again, she's being
Stalked.
stalked by the Weeping Angels. She blinks,
And
they're
they're
gone.
gone.
Oh crap, what's going on? And she thinks she's going insane, which is quite right. Yes, she's.
She's
I.
being gaslit.
Oh my God, right? And then it's just they're right there, just out of sight. I- It's
Ah.
it's just this great example of dramatic irony,
Yeah.
where it's like we're aware of something that the character does not know, and that makes it even scarier.
They're right there listening.
Yeah, it's very suspenseful.
So here is
Detective
Inspector
and Shipton,
Billy Shipton.
Billy Shipton, who yes, look at that. He's this. I gotta even in like single frames, he's got the hots for for Carey Mulligan's character. It's
He
like
just has the hots
hello,
for Carey Mulligan.
hello.
He just Lando Calrissian
He
her.
just Lando Calrissian to her, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna impress you. I'm gonna show you what we found, mostly cars at Western Drumlins. But
Here's the cool thing.
here's the cool thing: it's a police box, but it's not a real police box. The windows don't match,
But it uses a normal key.
but it uses a normal Yale
What?
lock.
Yeah. And she's like, I found a Yale key.
I did not know what a Yale lock was.
Apparently, it's a common word.
Yeah, just more transatlantic stuff. But this is why you watch. You're learning.
Yeah.
And
And what's the big question? Because there's always the big question, and I love his big question, because it's my big question, which is who a hot lady. Will you have a drink with me?
that's like he's got to work fast and this makes it doubly sad because if you know what happens to Billy, it's
In
like
2 minutes.
2 minutes, but it's like, well, life is short. He's got to like, hit while the iron's hot,
Yeah.
and it's like he's not wasting time, and then he loses time, like the rest of his life. It's so sad. Oh my goodness.
Ugh.
But yeah, he's working fast and
Yeah. He gets her number.
gets her number. Yeah, and the little cute stuff where it's like, oh, what's your name? Sally Shipton. Like,
Like, no, it's not.
oh, nope, nope, that was a mistake. Sparrow! Like, I'm definitely going to call you Sally Sparrow, you
and
gorgeous girl.
and she's like, "Don't look at me."
Don't look at
I've had a
me.
girl say that to me. It's cute.
Yeah, yeah. But poor Billy.
Poor Billy.
Poor Billy. He looks away.
He's like, "Victory is
Yeah, I
mine."
know. Look at that fist pump. He's so happy.
I,
You got to bring him up before you bring him down.
right? Just,
He
I'd give him that.
gets got the number.
He's doing the tiger.
He got Sally Sparrow's number, and then crap.
And there are four angels. And he goes from happy to, wait, what?
What's happening? Crap. Where do these angels come from? And he comes up to them, and of course, you know what happens, audience. He blinks. Ah.
And it's raining.
It's raining.
It's been raining for a little
And
bit.
Sally realizes, you know what? I got this magical key that I stole off a statue. I should, at least try it out,
Yeah.
But
But where
it's
did it
it's
go?
gone. Billy's gone. That looks like it's been forced open.
Yeah. The rain just poured in.
The rain is just pouring in, and Billy is just sent back through time to the year 1969, and he meets up with the time travelers, the
Finally.
Doctor, and
Dr.
and
Martha Jones.
yeah,
My favorite companion.
yes.
Ah.
Now,
Now,
is she just a medical student now, or is she a full doctor? I think she's a full doctor by I don't know.
yeah, she's a full doctor. She's working at the hospital.
She
When
I
Oh,
I
you know what? I
I
don't
ha-
know in the timeline. It's been
it's
over
been a
10 years.
while. Yeah, I know. Eventually, she becomes a doctor
Yeah.
because she works,
Yeah,
with Unit
that's
later
why
on in the fourth season. But
that's why I take it back where I'm like, I don't know where they are.
yeah,
But anyway, he says he finds Shipton through timey-wimey
yeah,
detector.
he used like a timey wimey detector sensing like tach. Well, he doesn't say tachyons, but
He says timey-wimey.
timey wimey stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, he describes the weeping angels, and this is uh, a great scene because they're only the only psychopaths in the universe to kill you nicely.
Oh,
It's
that's a great line. No muss, no fuss. They just zap you into the past and let you live to death.
oof. It's the economy of wording. It's like that's what they do, and why do they do that? They live off. They're creatures of the abstract. They live off potential energy.
Yeah. So
All those days you could have had, they take.
yeah. So they're good for the next however many days or years.
Yeah.
You know.
Now here's what I'll get into later, but he created a machine out of stuff. It goes bang when there's stuff, and also it can boil an egg at 30 paces, and like don't get it in your hands because they explode. Now I talk about this now because later on, when Sally and Larry are at Western Drumlins,
Yep.
and the conversation is blowing his mind. What does Larry say? That it'll explode the egg forms.
The egg. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if that's intentional,
Yeah, that's right.
but
That's right. While
I
he's writing stuff
mean,
down,
I don't know if that's an accident. We're gonna find that out.
you let us know down in the comments.
Yeah. So the doctor tells Inspector Shipton that he has to send a message to Sally Sparrow, but it's gonna take a while. It's gonna, yeah. Oh my God, 38 years.
Yeah, it's gonna take 38 years.
And Sally meets up with an old Billy,
Yeah.
and I've read that originally the actor who played young Billy was gonna do old Billy, but they, with the old man makeup, it just didn't look right. And old man makeup doesn't normally look right on people. So it's like that would have been distracting. And I could believe that this old Billy is the, you know, what young Billy turns into. So I don't have any qualms. And I think the actor who plays old Billy is quite good. Very endearing.
I'm gonna say Prometheus.
Prometheus. Yeah,
Old man makeup is hard to pull off.
it is. It is.
So I'm glad they went this direction.
Yeah, there's only a handful of times where it actually does, work out. I'm like, oh. Now, with CG and stuff, I mean, you got, you know, old man Steve Rogers. So, and that looks great.
Yeah. But this is heartbreaking. It's like
That's like,
it was raining when we met. That's like his first line to Sally.
and it's like, it's
And
the same rain.
woof.
So to her, it's just been a number of hours, and from his perspective, it's been 38 years.
Timey
That's
wimey.
that's crazy. That's crazy. And again, I talk about the economy of storytelling. The reason Sally knows to go to Billy is because Billy, if you remember, through his perspective 38 years ago, had Sally's phone number and eventually called her
At this exact
at
moment.
this exact moment. So, oh, you did it again, you jerks. Oh, so good, so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he married a lady named Sally
yeah, now
by accident.
there's a theory actually that this Sally is actually the daughter of Kathy Nightingale.
And low budget Daniel Craig is their son.
I don't know. Like as far as I know, Kathy
Oh,
had 3 kids.
yeah.
So
So
this is plausible. The
yeah,
timeline makes sense. So maybe this is all for the best because they do,
or
Kathy
they do
and
come together.
yeah, Kathy and Billy, they both end up back in time, but at the same time, they end up, married and, in loving relationships. So that's good at least.
They miss out on the internet.
They miss out on the internet, but
They have love, so.
they have love. So I think that's
But that's a cool
good to
theory.
know.
That might be
Yeah. Yeah, it works.
Sally Nightingale or whatever the married name is.
Yes.
Very cool. Yeah,
Yeah, so uh
I like how the only way for him to stop pestering the doctor about what the future is going to hold, he's like, he'll destroy 2/3 of the universe. Stop asking.
it's like probably not, but
Yeah, that's.
it's like, yeah, I was like, I thought about contacting you before this time, but I think the doctor just doesn't want to deal with paradoxes. He's just lazy.
They're hard.
Yeah, they are hard. But it's so fun because like, and I lost my hair. It's
He has old man hands. He lost his hair.
oh my God, yes. And he talks about how he got into publishing and then video publishing, and that he's responsible for the Easter egg on the 17 DVDs.
Yeah.
And he tells Sally to look to the list of 17 DVDs. That's the key.
Yeah.
And this is
And that this is his last night.
last night. It's like when the rain stops, then then he will die. He's destined to die.
Yeah, because the angels took away his time.
Yeah, it's a very
Ah,
bittersweet moment, this one, and this is where it's like you gotta the audience and Sally find themselves these angels. They got to be stopped
they have to be.
somehow. They're ruining the lives of good people.
She calls up the last of her Scooby Doo gang,
Yeah,
Larry.
Larry. Like I love Larry's uh love Larry's reaction to like I know what the DVDs have in common. Me, those are the only 17 DVDs I have.
You only got 17
You only
DVDs.
have 17 DVDs. And of course, they're like, "All right, let's meet at Western Drumlins." And for some reason,
Yeah,
it's like it's a feeling they could have met anywhere else, but they had to do it at Western Drumlins. I don't know why, but it's a cool setting with cool lighting, so I'm not gonna deny that.
and they get to sit on the floor,
Get to sit on the floor, and it's the doctor, and he's doing a spiel,
and they start talking, and
and it's like, oh, he could hear us. It's like,
and,
no, it's just recorded.
and I just love how it's all because he's just transcribing it.
Yeah, and then eventually he starts writing in shorthand,
Yeah.
and the doctor talks about how he's stuck in 1969, and Martha comes in. It's like, I got a
I gotta
job in a
work in a
shop.
shop.
Gotta support him, Martha.
I like how they can communicate in real time, but it takes them 38 years to do it.
Yes, I know. That's great. And this is the line. People assume that time is a strict progression of cause and effect, but actually, from a nonlinear, non-subjective viewpoint, it's more of a like a big ball of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey
Stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, and that's all you have to know about time travel.
Yes. Yeah. Look to your left, and apparently it's Larry who's writing the stuff down.
Because he's a nerd.
Yeah, and he's a part of it. He's part of the loop.
He is?
Yeah. And he's a time traveler. He got in the future. This that what he's writing. So, oh my God, this was blowing my mind the first time. The Angels have the phone box.
I have it on a shirt.
He does. Look at that. Look at that. That's he's got that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I think the idea again of the Weeping Angels is great because they were once you know not a an evil species, but they've been around so long, they've become very defensive, and they created through evolution. I don't know how, but every time you look at them, they get quantum locked, so they cease to be when they're in that stone form.
That's just crazy that they know when things are they know when they're being perceived.
Yeah.
Wow. Craziness.
Yes.
And
And they are unbelievably fast. These weeping angels.
yeah, because they move at the speed of quantum, whatever that means.
Well, they
They get
they're
quantum
fast.
locked, yeah.
They're fast. They're unbelievably fast.
Yes.
Yes, and they can't look at each other because that's how if they look at each other, they freeze themselves
Forever.
for yeah
Or until like there's like a
uh,
something.
yeah.
But
Uh,
that's crazy. They can't look at each other
Now this had me thinking: how do they procreate?
in the dark.
Oh snap!
That's how they do it. That's how I do it.
That's good. I like that. I like that thinking. In the dark. They do it in the dark.
Yes. It's the only way.
Yes. I like that.
Or they tie up their eyes.
Do it. There's some 50 Shades of Grey stuff going on.
Bada bing. Oh, where's that line?
Oh, which line? Oh,
There it is.
yes. So the doctor, his last words are, "Don't turn your back, don't look away, and don't blink. Good luck." And like
Like that's how fast they are. You can't blink.
you can't blink.
Uh,
Oh man. And that's the
and now
namesake of the
and now I
episode.
blinked, and now I feel like I died.
I know. Wow. And as it turns out, they're not looking at the statue.
Right, because they start arguing over something that doesn't mean anything. Because the next thing that you know, ah,
Ah! This had me jumping, man. I was like, "Oh crap!" I was expecting this beautiful, seraphim face, and then it's like, "Nope, nope. Oh god."
it teeth and the claws.
Yeah.
It has claws now.
It has claws. Where did those come from?
Ugh.
Oh man. And I gotta hand it to the actor who plays Larry because he does scare it very well, and he has these amazing eyes. These look at those. Look at how dilated they are.
Deer in headlights.
Yeah, it's like he's just so scared. He's too scared to blink.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He's literally about to cry the whole
Yeah.
time because he's just that good.
Now we talked about this.
Yeah.
Like you, if it were you,
I just do
and
this.
you just keep your eyes open like that.
Yeah.
Now, in later episodes of Doctor Who, you found out that you can't do that because, like, Weeping Angel takes the form of an image, so you're actually burning a Weeping Angel into your retinas, and then that becomes a Weeping Angel. I always thought that was a little weird. I would have not had that in canon. That's just
So if I look at them too long, they multiply.
yeah,
Which is why on the camera thing, and I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. Well, if you want us to talk about more Doctor Who,
yeah,
we will. But this is the
yeah. But isolated. That's if I didn't know that and that wasn't a thing, I'd probably just do this. Just
yeah.
yeah.
But
But
no, you can't even look at them for too long.
yeah, yeah. But you know what? Larry's scared. We all
He's
do dumb
doing-
things when we're scared,
He's
man.
doing his best.
He's doing his best.
I would just look at them.
I would be urinating.
I would be make out. You know what? I just have to start wearing brown pants.
So, yeah, for all y'all who are like, "Oh, I'd do something smarter." No, you wouldn't.
My body wouldn't let me.
You're like, there's a difference between watching it in the safety of your living room on a couch versus being out there, and like you do dumb things in normal life when you're not being chased by
Something as old as time.
yeah.
Ah,
So there we go.
look at it. Like, go back to that
Ah.
mark. Look, that's just scary.
Yeah, that's great. Ooh.
So Sally's trying to
So,
get out,
yeah,
but
try to
the
get
other
out.
angels are like,
And it's like, give him the key. No, didn't you hear the doctor? They'll destroy. Like they'll have enough power to destroy his son. You idiot.
that's basically going to destroy the planet. But he looks away, and
He
it
looks
gets
away and
closer.
is like, ah, crap.
Ah.
I know. Such a great scene.
There's no eyes.
And like, I'm getting away from this guy.
Yep.
And it's like, all right. And then she finds, oh, there's a basement. I'm like,
There might be
maybe
a
it
cellar.
might be a cellar. There's never a cellar. There's no
Well, it's England. So
I know. But knowing my movies, it's like
There's no cellar.
no.
But
And
the box is down there.
the box is down there. Yeah. And there are 3 other angels. So 4 altogether.
Yep.
Yeah. So they got smart and like, all right, as long as we look at them, they can't, hurt them.
Yeah.
But
Apparently, the angels know about modern technology.
yeah, because they're like, hey, bulb, and they probably have some like power to suck up energy or something. The doctor talks about them living off potential energy,
Right.
which is not like, but technically a light bulb's more kinetic energy. But yeah, sure, whatever. I don't know.
Energy is energy, I guess.
Yeah. There's bound to be crossover between potential and kinetic energy.
There literally is a crossover.
Yeah.
So,
Sure, but whatever.
so
But they
the lights start blinking.
they could turn off the lights. Oh, they start blinking. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought about this.
I like that. And yeah, when you're scared, you can't open like doors.
I can't
with-
open
with
doors
that.
sometimes. Just like calm. Oh, look how scary.
And you
they look.
don't see how scary this is, but it's like it's like a strobe light. It's like they just keep on coming at them.
You don't hear how scary it is. They really have a great sound.
Yeah, and then they find out that
Oh, they can get in the TARDIS.
they got in the TARDIS, and it's bigger on the inside.
I love that shot.
Yeah, and they receive a message from the doctor that
This is a security thing. You're
this
fine.
security thing, and this time capsule has detected the presence of an authorized control disk.
I just love how like it's a DVD disc slot.
Yeah. Now, yeah. This is what I find amazing because uh so uh Shipton, when he was a producer of DVDs, did he encode all the DVDs with this Time Lord magic?
I'm thinking the Easter egg encoded itself with Time Lord magic. It's the
Yes.
Easter egg itself.
Sorry, Time Lord's science. The Doctor doesn't believe in magic, unless they're ghosts.
Yeah, that's
In
actually
which
true.
case, it's like, okay, you know what? Now I believe in ghosts. Before there weren't iPhones, now there are iPhones. So
Yeah.
there you go. And something I just noticed in this episode, and this is very good setup and payoff. Why does Larry have a disc on him? It's because
She asked him to bring it.
no, 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 not
Oh,
just
because
that.
he had multiples.
He had multiples, and because he's like,
He didn't know which one she wanted.
yeah. So
Do you want the one with the
go.
better quality
Do you
or the
want the
better
one with
audio?
better sound quality? And like Sally doesn't care, and it's
But
like,
but
and
he cared.
he cared because he's a video guy, and I
Yeah.
get that. I understand. I understand, Larry. So he puts the disc
Pocket.
in his pocket. That's why he has the disc.
Economy of storytelling.
So so smart.
Too far.
Too far. So
So they put the disc in the hole, but before they could do that,
yeah.
or while they're doing that, the angels now have the box and they're shaking it.
Yes. Yes. They're shaking the box, and the TARDIS is being assaulted,
It's
and
doing its emergency brake noise.
doing the emergency brake
Wah
noise,
wah
and
wah
it's
wah wah.
dematerializing as they're still in there. And I've never actually seen this in Doctor Who, but I'm pretty sure that the TARDIS is capable of where the TARDIS can leave and you're just
This is the only time I remember
yeah,
seeing
yeah,
it.
but like
It makes sense.
yeah, it makes sense. And the angels are all looking at each other and they're all quantum locked. They're quantum locking each other.
Into looking at each other forever.
Yeah.
And the doctor tricked them.
Yes. So this is what a year later?
Uh, Several months. I don't know, maybe a year.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Yeah. Well, it's some time after the events of Western Drumlins.
Yeah, because they converted the I don't know if they converted the record the movie store or if it's just a new place.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have a bookstore
They have a bookstore, and they also sell rare DVDs
and antiques.
and antiques. And Larry wants to
Move on.
move on and maybe start something with Sally, but Sally is like
Stuck in the past.
stuck in the past. And it's like, how did the Doctor know all this? And
And she's
uh,
still wondering.
still wondering. And it's like, all right.
And
And like we're business partners. We run a shop. That's it.
and he's heartbroken, obviously.
Yeah.
But then we have this magical moment.
Oh, let me.
We marked it
Yeah.
where boom.
Boom. Yeah. Martha and the doctor they come out of a cab.
Yep.
Uh, and it's like, oh, they got bow and arrows, and they're on another adventure.
They have like four adventures.
Yes. Yes. In a video game, this would be like you're on a current adventure, and then it sets you up for the next adventure.
Yeah, and somebody runs out the shop and gives you a side quest.
Side quest. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But to them, it's like, wait.
Wait, and it's like, doctor, what are you doing here? And
He's
it's like,
I got things.
I got things, and the lizard, 5 eggs, and a lizard.
Yeah.
I gotta, and he lives because things don't happen to him in the right order.
And Sally's like, oh wait, um, it hasn't this hasn't happened to you yet, and she like figures it out.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful thing.
and she just happens to have the
Everything.
the the portfolio and everything, all the information the Doctor needs when
And
he
she's
gets
like,
trapped in
"You're gonna get
1969.
stuck. Don't lose this."
Don't lose this. Yeah, keep that with you.
And the beginning is the end is the beginning. And she's like, she realizes, oh, the Doctor knows everything, is because she made a dossier.
Yes, a dossier. Yeah, and this is actually a very interesting line because he's like, because his life is timey wimey. He's rubbish at weddings, especially my own, and that actually
Happened,
happened where
happens.
it's like, uh, we're married. I'm your husband. I'm like, okay. Also, there's the stuff with Queen Elizabeth, but
Yeah, with Tennant,
we'll
yeah,
get into that later. She's still pissed off at him.
yeah, made a whole order.
Yeah. And you got the heroic music and like, it's good to meet you, Sally Sparrow.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, this is the first time they're meeting. The Doctor's been in her life for a year, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah,
And the Doctor's like, oh wait, we haven't met yet.
yes. And Sally could leave stuff behind.
And finally, she's like, yes, I can move on.
Yeah. Goodbye, Dot. Move on. Yeah, I think it's a little convenient that she hooks up with uh, Larry.
He might have been working it for a long time.
Yeah, we don't know what happened in those months. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, just, a little convenient if you ask me. But she could let the Doctor go. If I was the Doctor, I would just, after the whole 1969 stuff was over,
And the lizard.
and like, because she's,
Oh, after 69.
yeah, after 19, when he gets the TARDIS back, I just go back to Sally Sparrow and just really thank her. Get her like a cake.
Here's some lemon cake.
Get her some lemon cake because Sally Sparrow helped him a lot.
Yeah. He didn't get stuck.
Yeah, he didn't get stuck because of this woman. So that's great. And Sparrow Nightingale,
Oh, and
antiquarian.
antiquarian books and rare DVDs.
Yes.
All right.
And
And now they just show a bunch of statues.
statues like don't blink, blink and you're dead.
Don't turn your back.
Don't look away.
And
And
don't,
don't
blink.
blink. Good luck. And I didn't know this, but apparently people have a fear of statues.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a thing.
I was not aware of that, and I think this gave kids a new fear of statues. If they didn't have a fear of statues before, now they do.
It rekindled it.
It's like crap.
So, literally my favorite episode because it's the best time travel storytelling from a linear standpoint.
Yes. Yeah, because normally, like if we were going through the Doctor's perspective, it would actually seem normally all, even though he's bouncing back and forth through time, like through Sally Sparrow's eyes, through the audience's eyes.
It's like magically
It's
happening.
like what's all this? And we're on her journey, and she's Carrie Mulligan again. She's great.
Yeah, it's also the best introduction because it's somebody new who doesn't know what time travel
Yeah,
is being exposed to the world.
yeah, and
Oh, I should have said that during the non-spoiler part.
yeah, and I read online that she was after this episode, or maybe during this episode, she was actually tapped to be a companion. I think Sally Sparrow would have been a fine companion. I would have liked to have seen more Carrie Mulligan. She's proven herself to be a very smart uh, person in this universe. But Carrie Mulligan, I think, wisely said no, and eventually she, yeah, became a big star and was nominated for an Oscar. So, yeah, good for her.
Yeah, and I'm glad she didn't take it because that just means more Martha Jones.
More Martha Jones. Yeah, yeah,
Man, I just this was my introduction, so this is my doctor, and I just love it.
yeah, yeah. Um, I started off with Eccleston, and I liked Eccleston, but I feel like I hardly knew him. That if he had another season or two, he probably would have been my favorite.
Yeah,
It usually takes like a season for a show to warm up, and it's like in the first season they're trying to find their footing. They're even trying to find their footing in this third season, I'm sorry, the second season of Doctor Who with David Tennant.
Yeah, like the shooting schedule to make it Doctor Who light.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
You're welcome.
this is a Doctor Who light episode, so that means for the schedule, the Doctor was I'm sorry, David Tennant to accommodate his schedule, so he doesn't have to be, the main character in all the episodes. In one episode, he could have a rest while they focus on other episodes. They have what they call a Doctor Light episode.
This is the second.
The second one in the new Doctor Who, there have been subsequent Doctor Light episodes. One of them is Turn Left with Catherine Tate. That was a really good one.
Oh yeah,
Where what if the Doctor wasn't around and like crap just keeps on happening
yeah.
to her. But the first one is actually a pretty awful episode. It's Love and Monsters. Yeah, and
Why are there? I know why their faces coming out of the body,
yeah,
like from the back, from the love hand.
yeah,
Just so many wrong things with this episode, and nobody's happy with it.
yeah.
But
Even like
ah,
here the thing is, the monster was designed by a kid. Here we go, and um, even the kid was like, "Look, my monster was supposed to be like a giant, like carrying like buses and stuff, and I don't, you know, this is not what I intended."
all right.
So it's not a good episode, and Moffat ended up doing the Doctor Light episode of the third season. So
He
uh,
was like, if this is the bar, I'm resetting the bar
resetting the bar, and it's
and
like it
bringing
can't
it
it
up.
can't be worse than Love and Monsters. And if it turns out to be a bad episode, well, it's a Doctor Light episode. What do you expect?
But the Doctor Light episode became my favorite one.
Yeah, yeah, a
It's
lot
like,
of Doctor Light or Companion Light episodes turn out pretty good.
yeah,
One of my favorite Companion Light episodes is again with when Catherine Tate is a companion, and the Doctor is on the train, and just weird stuff happens. She's barely in that episode, but it's such a tense thing. Yeah, it's
well, she was by the pool.
yeah. She was by the pool. She was resting.
Yeah, like the Doctor. Hey, you want to go on an adventure? She's like, no, I'm working on
No,
something.
I'm tanning.
Yeah, she was given the option,
Yeah.
and she knew better.
Yes. But yeah, third season's great. This is um some wonderful episodes. Before this episode was the Family of Blood two-parter,
Ooh.
and that was really good. Yeah. But Blink, especially
Oh, who is
for
that? Who is that dude who ended up being like kind of important? The brother
which brother? What?
in Family of Blood.
Oh, yeah, he was in played a Viserys in Game of Thrones.
There it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. I forgot we ended on that.
Viserys. Yeah, Viserys Targaryen.
Yeah.
So bringing it
Sorry.
back. Yes, yes. I think it's a well done episode. If you're a Doctor Who fan, you've probably showed this to a few people by now. And like, all right, this is
This is the intro episode.
this is your intro episode. At the same time, it kind of ruins the rest of Doctor Who for you because this is a gem.
There's nothing else like it.
It's yeah, some things they come close, but it's like if you show this to a friend, they start watching the show on their own. It's like, oh, no, it's not as good as the Blink episode.
You'll never see anything like it.
And yeah, yeah, it's something to behold. So any lasting thoughts?
For this, absolutely not. We basically talked about everything. We talked about everything I wanted to touch upon,
Yes.
including the Doctor Light.
Yep. Doctor Light.
But
I know you didn't want to see that picture of the
no, I didn't.
yes, this picture right here. You did not want to see this guy here.
Why?
This creation of a child.
Just. And you're just holding it there.
Yes, I am.
Um. There, thank you. Uh, yeah, just the genius in the writing, and wow. And who threw the rock?
Who threw the rock? And it's like, it doesn't make sense that it's a weeping angel. I mean, it's just why? Why would they do that? I don't know.
Maybe it was Tennant before he meets Sally. He's hanging from the TARDIS upside down.
Hmm. That's a good point.
He has to
Yeah.
make it happen.
He has to make the rock happen, so he throws the rock at her. I was like, yeah. God, that even has problems with it because the weeping angel is right there. We know that. So it's like,
The angel's like, "What the heck was
what's
that?"
what's going? Okay, maybe the doctor like paid some kid like who's 12 at the time in 1969. Look here. In 38 years, on this date, at this time, you're gonna throw this rock. Does that
Somebody,
make sense?
somebody had to throw the rock.
So, and it's like the weeping angel in that scene is the prime suspect, but again, motivation. Why?
You know what? What if it was another weeping angel being like, "I'm gonna mess your shit up," and just throws a rock through it, just so that way.
I'm like, we could send people through time. You know that we are faster than vision.
I'm not. I don't know. So, can you answer this, internet? Can you leave a comment down below and let me know?
Yes. Like I'm dying to know.
If you made it this far, like and subscribe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like and subscribe, do the thing. We will have more sci-fi, definitely more Star Trek coming up because we're really big fans of TNG and Picard, so be expecting that.
If you want us to talk about something specific, yeah, tell us. I'll read the comments because there aren't any to read so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Uh, anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly, timey
Timey-wimey.
wimey, wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly, timey
Timey-wimey.
wimey, wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Here he comes to save the day. Where's your screwdriver? Thank you very much for watching. I hope we didn't waste your time.